All right, 97.7 Outlaw Radio FM listeners, we got a special guest right here for a live one-on-one video interview. We have the one and only Young Hump of Digital Underground. This man needs really no introduction. How are you doing tonight, Hump?
What's up, family? I'm good, man. Glad to get him going with you.
Hey, man, I gotta say first and foremost, man, I have been a fan for a long time, man. So just thank you in advance for giving not only myself but the radio station listeners a bit of your time here this evening.
Appreciate you, King, for real. I'm gonna try to stutter less than I did a second ago.
Hey, man, it is all good.
All right, ready.
It's that middle of the week jitters, man. You know what I mean? Everybody always gets them in the middle of the week.
Nah, you know what it is? It's some leftover avocado and seaweed in my throat that I have to finish, But anyways, enough about that.
But I know you're a busy guy, Hump, so I'm going to dive right into this, man. But I want to start at the very beginning.
Before we dive anything, how you doing this week? You doing good, brother?
Hey, man, I'm doing best as I can be, man. You know what I mean? Just putting in work, interviewing legends like yourself, man. So, you know what I mean?
Because I have time for you, so I'm not too busy for you. I just wanted you to know I care about you. I respect you and your platform and your intentions and everything about you, so I'm not too busy for you. So I just wanted you to know that.
Hey, man, I appreciate that.
Let's go. Let's get it.
But I want to take you back to the beginning of Young Hump, man. You know what I mean? Back when you put on the nose. As we already know, you were the protege for the late, great, the legendary Shock G. I have to ask, man, how did you first get connected with Shock?
Well, there's a wee little youth. All right. Basically, there's family connections, but I didn't really meet Shock until probably like 8, maybe something like that. And we would, he gave me the number. We were just chopping it up like lightweight, but not really. And then as things moved along and the whole thing with the All Eyez on Me movie came, and I decided that I was destined to portray him in the movie, and I went after that. In the process of getting that, I reacquainted him with myself and reestablished the link. Pause. No, and I was gonna say, we just got back in touch with the brother, and we just started building from there. And then he, saw something in me and started mentoring me, and it was beautiful. It's real natural, real organic, just organic. We both Virgos, like Money B and Clee, and yeah. So.
I actually just had Cletus Cleemac actually on the radio station the other night, man. Solid guy, man.
I thought that was tomorrow. I thought that was tomorrow. You just did it. Okay.
Yeah, I just did it. Did it a couple days ago. After the interview, what I'll do is I'll shoot you the link in the DM. That way you can actually check it out.
I remember when Shock was asking me for Cletus's number, and I remember him texting me like, "Yo, I need Cletus' number." I was like, "All right," and then like, somebody asks you for the number, you don't get it to me. Hit me like whatever I was doing. He's like, "Yo, let me get Clee's number." I was like, yeah. He's like, yo, I missed that nigga, man. And then he texts me again, like, yo, I'm like, all right, my nigga, here's a number. Like, he loved Clee. I love Clee. Clee's a lovable brother, man. Shouts to the whole DU family. We rocking it. The DU party don't stop. You know what I mean? We're going to keep it going for Big Bro. You know what I mean?
And also as well, man, as we already know, us fans know, you were actually chosen for the nose, man, by the one and only Shock G. I was wondering, can you actually tell us the origin story behind that, of what actually made Shock G pass down the torch to yourself, Young Hump?
Well, like I would say, I presented myself as a individual capable of portraying his esteemed likeness. And when he bear witness to my display, he approved of it and rallied behind me. Then him being the genius visionary mind he is, he realized that there was a place for me beyond just the casting of a film, just actually being a part of the crew. And at that time, Shock was, I like to say, it was like the movie Crocodile Dundee, when they'd be like, he went walkabout down under, that expression. It was like Shock was on his nomadic thing. So he was like, look, you do the Hump thing, and we need you. And so I was like, cool. And it's like, I grew up loving them songs like we all did. So it was like, you want me to get on stage and perform songs I grew up loving and get paid? Absolutely. So it was his idea, and he linked me with Money B, and we connected and we started banging out. And I guess I had a high aptitude for it. Everybody felt that it was a match made on earth, you feel me, for heavenly purposes. So I just kind of, got in where I fit in and delivered, and everybody was rocking with it. And we just, and that's the thing. So, there's some people out there, look, there's some people out there that like to just have problems with things, and some people see it and they don't really know, and they be thinking I'm on some old bullshit opportunism shit. I'd have to tell motherfuckers like, look, Shock asked me, like, nigga, do you think I just decided one day I'm gonna get on stage and perform? But pardon me, am I allowed to curse or no cursing?
Oh, we're completely uncensored. Have at it, Hump.
Motherfucking hell yeah. All right. So, it's like, peace to everybody, but a lot of people don't think like, what, they just think some guys I'm just gonna get on stage and perform some other rappers' material, like it's all good. Like, no, he obviously had to be cool with it. It was his idea. What I'm gonna ask him, hey bro, let me get on stage and do your shit. No, it was his idea. He asked me to perform these songs. I was just trying to be him in the movie. So he asked me, I said yes, and we still continue rocking on. So that's how that happened. And the family embraced me as I embraced the family, because I was loving brothers forever. You know what I mean? Bought all the albums, all that. So yeah, it just happened naturally. And like I said, also, I'm a Virgo. Shock G's a Virgo. Money B's a Virgo. Cletus is a Virgo. Sophia is a Virgo. Digital Underground got some Virgos. I like to say digital Virgos. You know what I mean? But anyways, yeah. Damn, he's like a clone of Shock G. He looks and sounds just like him. He needs to do a new Digital Underground album and do an updated version of Humpty. Peace, Cadillac Gaddafi. Yes, Cadillac Gaddafi with the Outlaws. So here's the thing. I was chose for the nose to be Young Hump. I've actually only portrayed Shock G one time in the movie All Eyes on Me. I've never got on stage as Shock G. This is Young Hump, which originally, when he had me on stage, I first got on stage as Humpty Hump. It was Money B featuring Humpty Hump. But then there was a conflict of interest, because at the time, Shock had another show. He was doing his piano thing as Shock G. And then, watch how I do it. I'm going to keep y'all entertained with the hands all night. Watch my hand work. So mystical shit, like focus on the word. Okay. So anyways, basically, he was into doing his Shock G piano thing with Pee Wee and DJ Fuse. They had a trio. And he wasn't really doing the Humpty like that. But it was, he might throw it on and do the Humpty dance, but it wasn't really the thing what he was focused on. He was on his piano shit. So we had a show, you're not allowed to be in the same area within 30 days for contractual reasons. And we were both in the same area. So I thought we were going to lose the show. And I was like, fuck, it's a wrap. It was fun while it lasted. He was like, nah, y'all do the show. I won't do my show. I'm like, huh? He's like, look, you got it. He's like, you got to come with a new name and make your own character. So make a new Hump, figure out what you want to do. So I sat and pondered on it. I went to a lake. I sat and meditated with the ethers and all the other crickets and elves and, and magical forces, and sipped the potion from the witch, anyways, all of that. So I came with the name and attribute of Young Hump. You feel me? And so then that's where Young Hump was born, by the lake somewhere with, some nice ladies whispering at me, be Young Hump. But yeah, anyways, or it might have been in West LA somewhere with a 40 ounce. I don't know what it was. But anyways, all I know is I came with that, and it's been Young Hump ever since. So, never cloned Shock G, but they say I did a hell of a job portraying him in the movie. That's what they say. I'm just repeating what I've heard. It's just what I've heard. It's what I've heard and read.
And while we're on the topic of that movie, actually, that was actually in my question list. And I got to say, in 2016, man, I remember actually going to the movie premiere. I live in a really small town, Hump, so it's actually it's crazy. I had to go to another city, drive about an hour and a half.
What
just
town?
To go. I live in, then I lived in a town called Brockville. Now I live in Prescott, which is even further. But I had to go to Kingston, Ontario, just to actually see this movie. And I drove all the way for the premiere, about an hour and a half drive, just to go see that. And I have to say, man, you portrayed Shock so well, man. I'm not even gonna lie to you. When I watched that movie, I was like, excuse my language, when the fuck did Shock get so young again? Like I literally thought that was Shock G because Money B was in the same room during the scene, so I really thought that was Shock, man.
Yo, man, thank you, bro. Yeah, I mean, I went into the zone. I mean, the crazy thing is, that was the first thing I ever did. That was the first thing I ever auditioned for. And but I'm a nigga that I have a lot of ism, and I just knew, I always felt that like I could do something. So when I got the opportunity, and it was a whole, I mean, story and a half to get the part. It's like I could do a TED talk on what it took me to get that part in that movie, but I got that motherfucker. Shout out to my bro, LT Hutton, for holding me down. There are people in Hollywood, they only want to give roles to people that have previous experience, but he fought for me because he was like, these other people have been in 5 movies, but they couldn't touch your shit because they wasn't that. So I am that. So yeah, so I came through with it, and it was just a blessing. And the Most High, breathed all kinds of shit into it, and made it right, and it expanded in so many ways. I mean, that movie is a great movie. A lot of people have problems with it, but as somebody once said to me, no one ever liked the movie about Jesus. And Tupac is in some ways, by some people, treated and revered like that within the hip hop. I mean, look at the cover of Machiavelli, let's just go there. But it's like certain individuals there's so much on them that no movie, I mean, a lot of people didn't like the movie Malcolm X. A lot of people didn't, like there's certain people in history that people are just unhappy with the movies about them for various reasons, because they're so, like, it's so visceral for them. They just want, it's like the brother ain't here no more. Like, you know what I mean? But as for me, yeah, it was just a blessing, like, and it's funny thing too. I just throw this too. This is random as hell, but Money B, man, he really had to work hard to play himself in the movie. Like he really had to dig deep and really do a lot of soul searching so he could portray himself properly. Because, like, I mean, it was Money B. He had to actually be Money B. So, like, he went with some coaching. He found the right acting coach to really get him to be Money B. Because, like, you wake up in the morning as Money B, and then you got to go on set and be Money B. That's difficult. It's a difficult thing, but he managed to pull it off. So I feel like he was snubbed for an award. I feel like Money B should have received at least a nomination for, like, supporting actor Money B as Money B. I thought he did a fabulous job.
And I remember as well when you actually in that scene when you actually kind of like looked at Pac and was like, "Welcome to the underground." With the way you did that, it sounded like, I mean, just like this, just like Shock, and I was just like, "Whoa, man!" Like this. At this point I was like, "Man, this guy's good." I'm like, "This guy
Yeah.
is good."
Thank you, man. The only thing that when they zoom in, I have that crooked tooth that he doesn't have. See, look, Shock don't have that. I have that Halloween special. Shock had them perfect teeth. I'm jealous of that nigga's teeth. But yeah, yeah, man, and it was a blessing, man. It was so much fun. It was just me and Money B had so much fun. It was the time of, what's crazy is somewhere in the vault somewhere there's an extended version of that movie. We actually performed Do What You Like for the movie, and it didn't make the final cut. They just used the Humpty dance part. But yeah, man, we had a battle scene where it was like it was Shock G, Money B, and Tupac battling Tretch, Queen Latifah, and somebody else from the Flavor Unit. I can't remember right now. And yeah, it was epic. It was epic. A lot of fun, man. Shouts to Demetrius that played Tupac too.
And going back to when you said not a lot of people like that movie, I personally enjoyed it. But one thing people don't realize, it is Hollywood, but also Tupac had such an extensive career. He had a short life, but this man did like so many movies, so many albums. I mean, like this guy was always working. So to fit everything in a movie, man, we'd be in the theater all day long. Like, you know what I mean?
Man, and you know what I think? I wouldn't say that a lot of people didn't like it. I would say a lot of people liked it, but also a lot of people hated on it. You know what I mean? Like, or a lot of people liked it and a lot of people disliked it. Because there's a lot of people that love the movie, but there's a lot of people that had issues with it. And a lot of that shit is so silly. And also, I'm gonna just keep it a buck because I'm trill with mines. A lot of people got hypnotized into thinking they didn't like it. Shout out to my barber Al. He told me that he cut a nigga's hair like the weekend that it came out, and dude was like, "Yo, I saw the Pop movie. That shit was dope." And then he's a dude, he cut his hair every week. And he sent him a week later, and somebody else brought it up in the barbershop. And he was like, yeah, I saw that shit. It was cool. Then like the following week, somebody else, because that shit was the hottest shit in the streets when it came out. Then the following weeks, somebody brings it up again. He's like, yeah, I didn't really like that shit. And my man was like, yo, you said you liked it. He's like, I don't know. I just kind of, now that I think about it, he only saw it that one time. It's like, no, nigga, not now that you think about it. Now that you've heard people shit on it, you know, some people are I don't want to say gullible, but they're easily persuadable in their opinion. You know what I mean? If you like the new Kendrick and then your man says it's not all that, and then later, yeah, and then 2 weeks later, you're like, I don't like the new shit. You know, it's just people are like that. But God bless them all. You know, it's nothing. We all love Pac and Shock G and everybody else involved with it. You know what I mean?
And before we move off the topic of that movie, when you actually said there was like actually unreleased scenes and whatnot that you guys filmed, do you think someday we us fans might actually be able to see those uncut, unreleased scenes?
Never. I hope more than anybody on the planet, but I don't think that shit will ever come out for a variety of reasons. Some I will not get into, but I will say the main reason that I will say at this point is that I just feel like this is the reality of it. And I'm not going to get into the particulars of it, but let's just say the movie was up against a lot. There were a lot of people that, you know, have issues with it in different pockets of places, like in different, you know, there's forces that had problems with it. You know what I mean? Like, you know, what does Tupac represent? You know, what did Tupac do when he saw the off-duty police fucking with the brother? You know, who was Pac's mother? What did she represent? All of these things, you know, plus you have certain, you know, individuals now that Pac had problems with when he was alive that are now the masters of the industry. So you have all these people that just, you know, had issues with it. So, you know, it was up against a lot, you know what I mean? But I'm not accusing anybody of anything or saying I'm just saying this, you know, when you have a lot of people that have a problem with what you're doing, it makes it harder. And the great LT Hutton, man, that brother, he's a legend. He went up against like that. You know, we talk about, you know, the Atlas shit where Atlas has got the globe on his back. That nigga carried, you know, he made it happen. You know what I mean? I mean, let me just put it to you like this, just to put it in context, and I'm gonna end it with this. Matter of fact, let's move on. Let's move on. Peace to everybody, and salute to LT Hutton for dealing with a difficult task of putting together a movie that was, you know, as he once said, he's like, every day there's a new fire I got to put out. I mean, there wasn't even a soundtrack. There's a soundtrack for the wackest movies ever. Why was there not a soundtrack for the Tupac movie? We'll leave it at that. But anyway, sorry, man, you got me. I'm still.
Oh man, it's all good.
I got issues about that. I was supposed to make a lot more money. I was supposed to get work. You know, you do a good job in a movie that people are hating on. They act like you didn't do a good job. I'm sorry, man. I got issues, man. Bitches is playing games. I'm sorry.
But I have to ask, man, as we already know, this year.
Give me a minute, fam. Give me a minute. No, it's fine. Okay, we were.
But no, as we know, man, unfortunately this year, you know, hip hop and the world lost Shock G, you know, which I think is a devastating loss for hip hop and every single fan all over. But the one thing I have to ask, man, what was one of your most fondest memories you share with Shock?
These stickers. If you see me out here, I got one of these in my wallet. It's on deck. It's funny. I actually was walking earlier today and I saw this sticker on this like street sign, and there were all these, and I put the sticker on the street sign, and there was all these other stickers, and pretty much all of them all fell off, but that Shock G sticker's still there. I was like, yeah, ain't nobody snatching that off. They're gonna let that one rock. What was my fondest memory with Shock? I mean, to be really honest with you, just because I'm like looking for something else, my fondest memory with Shock, and it's with Shock in a way that's like, and I don't just mean to say like I'm not trying to do this to it's just what comes to my mind. It's hard to get past this. Is man, when he sent me a video, just giving me love for what I did, representing him in the movie. That shit was everything, bro. You know, I mean, I posted it before, at least parts of it before, and it was just, you know, it's like you respond, it's like imagine this, right? Imagine you're an actor, so you want to do a good job. Okay, imagine you an actor playing a nigga that really is alive, and there's lots of footage of him that people can look at and judge you off. So you want to do a good job and you want to impress the people that really know the guy. But then imagine you know the guy and he knows you. So you want him to be happy with what you did. Like all of this young Hump stuff, yes. But that's on stage. We just having fun. This is a movie portraying this man as a human being in life and moments that ain't about, hey, yo, Dodio, dog. We talking about like, other kind of moments. It really just, it meant a lot for him to take the time to send me a tangible video that I can watch for the rest of my life. And even though I wasn't with him when he filmed it, every time I watch it, I feel like I'm with him. And let me say this about the brother Shock, since we're gonna give light to Shock G, because I want everybody to know how I feel about Shock G, and I want everybody to know what I observe about Shock G and what I note about Shock G and what I like to share about Shock G is this: Shock was different, man. Shock was so ill with his shit. He was so he did things that you figure out later, like that motherfucker. Did he know it was going to be like that? Shock was the kind of guy, if he was your friend, let's say you have a conversation with him, like, yo, I just listened to this rare Yusef Lateef album, but yo, I just found they remastered this Patrice Rushen, or yo, I just seen this crazy, movie with Old Dirty Bastard doing Shakespeare. You tell him about it, right? He fuck around and send you a video like a week later, like talking, like, yo, I watched that movie. Yeah, it's like, you were saying da da da. Like he send you a video talking about what your conversation was, right? So now that he's gone from the physical plane, he's still here forever. But now that he's not picking up if you call. Those of us that knew him, we got like 20 or whatever the fuck, 30, whoever you are, 5, 50 videos from him talking to you. Like it's like I don't know how many people could say this, but if I had to guess, there have to be at least 50 to 100 motherfuckers that in their phone have a dozen plus videos of Shock G talking to them. Like what a gift to give people so then when you're gone, like, how you hear people say sometimes sad shit like, oh, I wish I could just hear their voice one more time. You got mad footage. I got Shock talking to me about my accomplishment, portraying him. Whenever I'm down, nigga, it's real out here. People be thinking shit is a game. I don't mean to get all heavy and shit, but it's a pandemic, man. We had a lot of plans. We're going to get to this Canadian shit. I'm about to get, for all the viewers, I know I just kind of brought it down a little bit because I'm a real motherfucker, man. This is not a game. We're gonna get back to the glitter, and we're gonna get into each one of these. But while I'm here, just giving Shock G his real shit in some difficult moments for your boy. Difficult moments. I've sat and pulled that shit up on some real, and I'm not talking about difficult, like I'm just missing Shock. I'm talking about nigga shit is hard out here type shit. I'm sitting at looking at Shock, making me feel my strength. And there's women out there he cared about, there's family members, it's niggas in the grind, all of that that's walking around holding that shit from that man. So that's different. That's special. So I encourage everybody out there, every once in a while, send somebody you love a video because they might need it. Anyways, I gotta give it up for my guy because I wanted to say that at his funeral. I didn't get a chance to speak. So I'm saying it every time I get from this point on. I made myself a promise. Nigga asked me about Shock G. I'm talking about the videos he sent him. He sent.
But also as well, man, and like aside from, Shock G and All Eyes on Me and whatnot, in 2014, 2015 criteria, yourself and Money B actually formed the hip hop duo Money B and Young Hump. I was wondering if you can tell us a bit more about that duo, and of course, what actually made you guys decide to partner up and just take hip hop by storm?
Once again, it's the big brush Shock. So boom, I'm trying to play Shock in the movie. I rolls up on Shock at the show he did in LA in 2012. We reconnect. Boom. I show him the video of me doing the hump shit for the movie. He's like, yo, you got it. He calls me up like a month later, like, hey, you should do some shows with Money B. Cause I'm in the wind right now. Fuck with Money B. So I'm like, all right, I don't end up meeting Money B for about another 2 years. And when we finally meet, I step to him like, yo, this is me. I'm Bro the Shock. He's like, yeah, I know. I heard about you. He's looking at me kind of. We always joke about the story because Mun is gangster. Mun was looking at me like, yeah, I heard about you. So I was like, all right. So, but then he was like, we'll give it a shot. And then we got up, had a rehearsal, saw what it was. He saw that it was correct. And we've been smashing ever since. So it literally came from Shock's idea. Because literally, I was just trying to play him in the movie. I had no thought in my mind of ever getting on stage and saying, hey, yo, stop what you're doing. I never had that in my mind until Shock G presented it. And, it's been an illustrious thing. I mean, we've done some incredible things, Money being Young Hump. I should have worn this hat. Hold up. Look how smooth that transition was. Oh, yeah, let's talk about it. Money be dumerch.com, got the Money Being Young Hump, we got the Digital Underground, all the fly shit you see. Yo, we have superior merch. We get our merch done by the people that do Ice Cube's merch. Shout out to my man Robert Red. We have the flyest merch in the fucking game. Our merch, look at the design on this shit. Tell me that shit don't hit. Tell me that don't shit.
That's pretty fucking crispy.
Pretty crispy, right? You feel me? Look, it's pretty crispy, right? Like, my G, you feel me? Like, we crispy out here. We got all types of shit. You know what I mean? So yeah. So that's how we ended up doing it. We getting ready. We planning to drop this album before the end of the year because we were gonna drop it, in 2020. Let me get to this Canadian. Well, you have questions for you but I wanted to just drop.
Most definitely. Hey, man, jump in the Canadian stuff. These questions wait a few.
Yeah. Let me. Okay, that's what I was gonna tell you. We had a tour planned in Canada for 2020. It was Money Being Young Hump with DJ Yella and Lil E, and there was some other artists that were in talks, but I can't, but that was already locked in. We had 4 or 5 cities locked in Canada. We had a time frame. I believe it was going to be in October of 2020, September or October. And it was still in the early developments in March when shit started getting weird. But we had that cracking, and I was really looking forward to it because I haven't been to Canada probably since 2004. I was out there like 6 times in 2002. I love Canada, and I actually speak French, so like not fluent, but I can speak that thing. So I miss French Canada, and I'm gonna blow your mind right now. Do you remember? I know you remember because how could you not remember? Back in the day, the old school Much Music.
Oh man, most definitely.
You
never go wrong.
You remember one of the hosts, Michael Williams?
Remember him. Yep.
Exactly. Family friend. when he used to come to LA, he used to check in with my pops. He used to come around. That was my guy. Like I was like my guy, and I was little. I used to love him. He was like my big. I miss him. I haven't spoke to him in years. I need to reach out. If anybody knows, man, I need to get a number on him. Because that was like my dude. He was almost like an uncle kind of energy. You know what I mean? I'm little. He was like my guy. Like he would come around. I bust moves with him when I was little without my father. Like Chris, let's go get some food. Like he's like my guy. Anyways, he used to always tell me he was gonna take me to Ice-T's house. And I was a little nigga, like, yeah, please. He used to always be like, yo, we'll go to Ice-T's house. It just never happened, you know what I mean? And but I remember that shit so well. That was my guy. So I got a lot of good energy and memories with Canada. I'm also a big fan of that man, the legend, Dr. Jordan Peterson. That's my guy. I tap in with him heavy. And so yeah, shout outs to Canada, man. I hope to get out there real soon because it's a magical place you from, my brother.
And I gotta say as well, man, because I'm pretty sure you saw my eyes go wide when you actually just brought up that Canada tour. Is that something you guys plan on still doing, like getting rescheduled, or is it unfortunately?
Well, I'm absolutely. I mean, right now there's no date that I'm aware of on the table, but it's definitely the intention is there. You know what I mean? I really want to get out there because I love that place, man. It's a beautiful, magical place. I miss Toronto. I miss Quebec. I miss Vancouver. I met a lovely lady from Vancouver not too long ago, and Lord, I need a reason to get out there.
Hey, I'm just saying, man. Down here in Canada, like the old saying goes, we keep our girls banging with a full mouth of teeth, man. So, you know what I mean? We got them dope. We got some pretty good Canadian girls out here, man.
You say you keep them banging with a full mouth of teeth?
It's actually a Canadian rapper actually says that by Classified, man. I don't know if you ever heard of him. He actually has a song called "Oh Canada."
Yo, you need to DM me that song, man. I need that, man. What?
Oh, I'll most definitely hook you up with that joint when we get off. I'll shoot it to your DM, man. It's actually a pretty cool music video as well. He pretty much talks about Canada and like what we're all about and how some countries they're kind of stereotypical of what we do.
Yeah, lace me with the video. I want the whole thing.
Hey, man, I most definitely will, man. But no, I really do hope you guys make it back down here to Canada, man, because I gotta say, I'm on the East Coast, so we don't really get a lot of good hip hop concerts. You know what I mean? Like we had DJ Yell and Little Easy out here in, I think 2017 or 18. Like I actually went, I met DJ Yell and Easy. They're pretty solid individuals, but that's like the real last good old school hip hop concert we actually experienced out here on the East Coast, man. So we definitely need to.
It's probably the same. I wouldn't be surprised if it was the same people do that together because that's probably what that sounds like. I know you got your ears plugged to the street, so if it ain't been nothing since then, it's probably the same thing. And we need to just get it, I guess, and also because just with the whole pandemic, just all the. Hopefully, we get out there soon, man, because I could definitely, I love it out there. I had some good times out there. I did music out there. All types of shit,
But also as well, man, September 24th of 2018, yourself and Money B actually collaborated with the one and only Too Short on the song Come Here. I was wondering if you can actually tell our listeners a bit more about this amazing song and what was it like being in the studio working with Short?
Let me turn this thing down, man. Lord of mercy. Well, here's the thing. I mean, actually we weren't in the studio with him. But what it was we sent him the song and it was so amazing. Mun sent him the song on a Tuesday. He sent the vocals back on Thursday. That's legendary shit. Like, guy like that, you'd be like, well, we'll just wait, you might get it a month later, but he loved it, man. Our brothers, the Mechanics, shout out to Fo Racks. We with you, my nigga. And see you soon. Kenny Tweed. You know what I mean? See you soon. Like they made the track and they, the Mechanics, they basically are like the signature staple sound of the town. Like they're like they're like over the last 10 years of the Bay, they've produced everybody. And, so their relationship with Short is extreme, but they're also, Forax came up through Digital Underground. So he's, so his connect with Short. I mean, Mun knows Short forever too, of course, but it was like the producers actually have like direct relationship with both of us. So the conversation to get him on the track was just between Money B and Forax was like, boom, we should get Short on this. Money B sent it to Short. He sent it back, and 2 days later, I'm sitting there feeling like a kid who found out he won something in the candy store after he left the candy store. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're a kid in the candy store, but I wasn't in the candy store. But see, then we shot the video though. And so I got to experience my best. I was living my best life that day. And I was gonna say, yeah, I mean, it was just, I mean, you grow up listening to a motherfucker, love him. You know what I mean? Like, my favorite Too Short lyric is, I mean, Too Short's my father's favorite rapper. We could just go there. But anyways, let me not get into reciting no lyrics. But basically, yeah, it was just a blessing. Like, you do a song. We did this, me and Money B recorded the song in Oakland at the mechanic spot. And then the conversation afterwards, when we were back in LA, was to get Short on it, send it to Short, he hopped on it. And then we like, let's do a video. And I'm just like, we're gonna do a video with this nigga? Like, what? And at that time, I had only met him maybe once before that, twice before that. Maybe like something like that. Really didn't really like, I never really got a chance to really build with him. So boom, and we on the video set. It was incredible. It was a dream come true. It's like there's dreams that you don't have that come true. That's what my experience with Digital Underground. Like, I never dreamt of that. I dreamt of playing Shock G in a movie at a certain point, but I never dreamed that I'd become a part of Digital Underground, that I'd be on stage in front of 13,000 motherfuckers kicking my own lyrics too, not just doing the Humpty dance and do what you like, but doing my own shit. You know, our own, like we perform Come Here. We open every show with Come Here because it's a great opener. So it's just, like I said, the whole experience has just been like a whirlwind of abundant, you know, prosperous, dream-like shit that's just fly. And it's perfect too, because it just relates with my pedigree and my experience with just the musicianship, the funk element, the spiritual, ethical side. Like, Digital Underground isn't about laying niggas in the ground and stomping their head out after you sold everybody in their projects a bunch of crack. You know what I mean? Peace to that level of rap. I love it as much as anybody, probably more. But I'm just saying, I didn't grow up doing that shit. So I didn't join some clique that's rapping about killing motherfuckers. You know what I mean? Even though Digital Underground ain't no punks and we got niggas around that are, you know, quite capable. But I'm just saying, like, you feel me? Like, the aesthetic of the group, the vibration of the music is me. So it was like I got to join the ultimate massive. Me, I joined the ultimate massive. See, Digital Underground. Why you know? Speak. Anyways, yes. Hi, I get excited.
But when we're actually on the topic of you performing songs on stage and whatnot, one thing I have to ask, man, and I think it's probably a cliche type question, but like, is there one song that you actually like still perform to this day where you still actually get off stage and go, shit, man, I can't believe that I just performed that song?
I get around. I mean, I'm on stage doing ad-libs for Tupac. Like, he's not there. And now it's crazy. We performing and we let Shock. I used to do Shock G's verse. And now we let, it's wild. Like, you know, so now I'm doing that. But just to be on stage doing ad-libs, it's one thing you in a club, you know, like rapping along with some shit or something like that. You know, even if you were MC and you might do, or not, you have to be MC, but if you do ad-libs, we all, you hear, but yo, you know, just doing some shit, fucking around. But to actually be on stage getting paid while Money B standing there kicking the rap, and then the Pac part comes in, and then like I'm singing the hook, you know, round and round, round we go. Like, that shit is surreal. Because I got my own dance steps to it now. I got my own dance steps that I developed. See, the key also too is this, with the Young Hump thing, for the people out there that watch and pay attention, is it's like this. It's a balance of, I incorporate and foundate upon the essence hump shit that everybody remembers. But then I add a bunch of my own innovations and unique stylings to make it my own. So, for example, I'll be like, that rings a bell. I mean, I've actually been wanting to do an expose that, like, I think Biggie Smalls got his from Humpty Hump. We ain't gonna go there yet, you know. But I was gonna say, like, a lot of people got a lot of shit from Shock G B. That's a whole other story. It's a big story. But yeah, so like when I do that, like, yeah. But certain things I do are all me. You know, like if you look at the way I rap, I'd be like, come here, first floor, deck 3. Our room is our room. You'll check me. Humpty Hump didn't really rap like that. He didn't really rap like that. Now he might have talked like that maybe somewhere on the end of a song or something, but he didn't. When he rapped, it was it's Humpty, check it out. So me, I'll bring it into the sexy. Yo, come here, check it out, baby girl, and some other shit I do. So just trying to add on, because it's about adding on. It's not about just duplicating what somebody else does. It's about adding on, because I'm not Humpty Hump. I used to get on stage and portray Humpty Hump. I am Young Hump. That's who the fuck I am, that I was instructed to be. So that's the fun part. It's fun to like keep the tradition alive, because I love it as much as anybody ever did, and more than 99% of niggas who think they're gonna tell me anything about it anyways. And then it's like, but I get to add on to it because that's how you do it. And Shock told me that. See, look, I'm gonna give the game. I hope people out there see this. Shock said some shit to me. Shock was different, man. He was a special brother in so many ways, because he would say things to you that are like really godly, and like from a deep understanding of like artistry, some real shit. You know what I mean? Like being an artist, there's a lot of people that are not artists. They do art for a living. There's a difference. And that's a whole other build right there, but we ain't gonna go all into that. But I'll just say this. With art, you have to have your mind right. I mean, you don't have to have anything. There's no rules to art, but I will say that it helps when you understand certain principles. It's not techniques. I'm not talking about rules. I'm talking about principles and certain like just things that make your understanding of it go better. So when I first got the part, Shock said some shit to me that I will always thank him for. He said, he said to me, he said, look, I just want you to know, when you're doing the movie, if there's something you want to do that you're not really sure if I would do it, you don't know if it would like make all the sense to do it. It might, you're not sure if it would necessarily like maybe match the era that it took place in the movie or whatever, but you think it's dope, just do that shit. That's exactly what he said. Just do that shit. If you think it's dope, just do that shit. And I'm sitting there like, this nigga is incredible. He just took all the pressure away. Then he says to me, he goes, yo, and I'm going to tell you like this. He said, listen, this is Shock G speaking. He says, listen, I'm not Humpty Hump. Humpty Hump is a character that I created. I act as Humpty Hump, and other people have acted as Humpty Hump. Now you are doing it. Like that shit just, from that day, it was like that's why I'm so free with my shit. Cause he just untied the tight noose. It was like, nigga, you good. Just, you know what I mean? That shit was like everything for me. And I was just like, damn. So that's why I could do it how I could do it, because I understand the spirit of that. And the real spirit of it is like, we won't get on some esoteric shit because I like to go there sometimes. I figured out what it is because I'm a scholar, and I'm gonna just tell y'all what it is, man. You ain't heard this nowhere before, and you're not gonna hear it unless you hear it from me. But I'm gonna tell y'all some real shit. Matter of fact, Humpty Hump, whatever you want to call it, is an ancient spirit that nigga unlocked and brought into the 20th century. And I'm pushing it forward in the 21st century. I figured it out. It's like, what do I mean by that? I'm gonna give y'all some game. You go back through history, Well, I'm not sitting over here trying to convince niggas about reincarnation or no shit. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about spirit. I'm talking about channeling. You could go back in time and read up on this. There were time periods where, like kings were coming and going. A king be the king for a week. A nigga come and chop his head off as another king. And this king's the king for 2 years. They go to war. These niggas come in and sack this motherfucker. He's out of there. Then this other king get exiled. And kings was like, but all that time, there was the famous court jester. Court gesture. That sounds like a song title. You right there. But that's actually a bar. Let me see. That's how real it is. Court gesture. Y'all niggas don't steal my rhymes, motherfuckers. All right. So look, anyways, so there were court jesters, people that traveled the land. Like, you see the old movies, guys that set up shit and were, with puppets and all types of shit, but old school shit, 1,000 years ago shit, where they was just the funny guy that traveled on a horse from town to town. It was, the great Carilli is here. And they would all show up. That's what Humpty Hump is. He's that of this time. And if you do the knowledge to some of those characters, it was the name and it was the energy. The person would change as a motherfucker got older because it was a business. So in the same template, Shock G, being a wise man, passed it to me. I was chose for the nose because I do it real well. And because I swear to God, I'm not this nigga when I don't have this nose on, when I'm not in this mind state. It's like I have to it's like this right here. It's one way. And then it's, what's happening, y'all? We really talk about it. Oh, what's happening? Like it's just that. And Shock brought that to the world. He channeled that from an ethereal place and brought it. And then he held it. And then as he got to a certain place in his life, he wanted to do some other things. And he said, my nigga, I think this is you. I think you should fuck with this. And I'm saying this with humility. I'm not saying this trying to be on some, nigga, I was the nigga. I'm trying to tell you motherfuckers, you can hate. Whoever wants to hate on me is cool, my nigga. I'm still going to eat avocados and they still going to like my conversation. It's fine. I'm not saying this out of pocket. I know my position. I'm not too big for my britches. I'm just telling y'all what it is because I'm walking in this motherfucker and I can bear witness to the magical stuff that happens around it. You know what I mean? There's things that just happen and I'm just sitting here watching them happen and I'm just like, this shit's really happening. And this nigga Shock G just made it happen. So what, am I going to stop? Fuck that. We're going to keep this shit going. So that's what it is, man. That's a little bit long-winded, but some information for y'all. Sure.
And I look at excuse me, I look at it like this as well, man. If individuals judge, they need to realize as well that Shock is the one that passed down the nose. So if they're questioning it, they're questioning the legendary Shock G's judgment. You know what I mean? If you weren't the right fit in his eyes, he wouldn't have passed down the nose. You know what I mean?
When I get the video of this, when this goes live, I'm gonna screen record that. And so everybody watching it now that I've screen recorded it, he just told you, as I've been telling you, you gonna question Big Bro's decision? It was his decision. Are you gonna question Shock G? He asked me and I said yes. Money B was with it. We with it. Digital Underground. DU party, don't stop. Talk about it. See us when you see us.
And also, when you brought up Money B, man, I got to ask about this song, man, because I remember when this song dropped, actually, in 2019, man, this was my jam, like, all year long, man, when it dropped, was the song that you did alongside Money B, Be Cool, man. That was actually, you guys did the video out there in Hungary as well. I have to ask, man, if you can, tell our listeners a bit more about not only the song, but just this legendary music video that you filmed halfway across the world.
Respect, King. Yes. Shout out to my man Jesky on the beat. Mike Ballard, what up? Yeah, we got the beat, and my man Jesky did that thing, and I caught it how I caught it off. Like when you have two guys in a group. Some joints, this guy hears it and sets it off. Other guy, that one I heard first and set off. So one of our dynamics that we like to do, whenever possible, is try to have two different takes of what we're talking about. Like if we just party. Like if that's the song, then we in the party, you know. But if there's like if the song is a little more, you know, of a certain kind of topic, we usually like to flip it. So that's why I was like, all right, I'm gonna be talking to the ladies and you talk to the niggas and you know the men, pardon me. And I was gonna say sometimes it's vice versa. You know what I mean? There's songs where I'm talking to the men and he's talking to the women. And it's just to give it, you know, to give it vibe and shit. And so anyways, on that one, so we did the song, and that's one of my favorite Money B verses of all time. That's top 10 Money B verses ever. Yo, let me tell y'all this real quick, man. Look, I'm gonna call it like I see it. Money B been in the rap game since 1989. All right. He is in the top 1 percentile of motherfuckers still spitting them fire bars. Fire. Fuck Daylon. Money B spits the fire. He spits that, yo, I'm telling y'all, there's certain motherfuckers that are like nastier now than they were then. That's Mun. On that song, that nigga snapped on that motherfucker. He killed that shit. And so, yeah, so anyways, I love his verse. When he says, I'm gonna quote Money B's balls on that. He said, he said, he said, all of my cousins got a mixtape. See, it's weird when you kick certain lines out of context without kicking the whole verse. But like, all of my cousins got a mixtape buzzing. Plus, all of my bitches be busting. Like, all of my cousins got a mixtape buzzing. Plus, all of my bitches be busting. Like months. Anyways, I always fall into the trap of wanting to recite lyrics, but you know. Anyways, so yeah, for the video, so we did a little quick tour through Europe. We did Hungary, Budapest. We did Helsinki, Finland. We did Leiden in the Netherlands, and we did Stockholm, Sweden. You see that smile. Ooh, shout outs to J-Ro. I never knew why J-Ro was living in Sweden for all those years, but I understand now. There's a great collection of records out there. Got a lot of nice things out there. Records. Anyways, so yeah, real shit.
We know what you're getting at, Humpty.
No,
we know what you're getting at.
No, real shit. I'll pull out a stack of motherfucking records on you. I mean it. I mean, yeah, I was winking at all the pretty ladies, but I came back with mad ass records. I made a beat tape off records. Yeah, Young Hump makes beats, motherfuckers. I got Young Hump solo album coming soon, and I got production on there. But anyways, yeah, no, I came with a stack of records. We gonna get into it. We grown. All right. I got a stack of records, some gear, and some pussy on the same day. That shit was fucking incredible. My man QD3 came to the show. That was one of the best days ever. It was just like, it was like the sun and the moon and the stars. Was like, look, we're gonna put it together for y'all like this. The venue was right across the street from the hotel. Me and this girl, she's a sweetheart. I'm not into ratchet, nasty girls. I like girls that like me as much as I like them, and they understand that time is not a thing to play around with. You only have so much of it, so you got to get to it. And that's we got to it. But I came with a stack of records, and I got some gear. I got like But anyways, yeah. So on that trip, the first city we hit was Budapest. So we had the idea, let's shoot a video out here, and that was fun, man. One of my favorite memories. So we hired a guy to shoot it. We didn't have like a director. We just hired a motherfucker with a camera. So we was low key directing it basically. And I'll never forget this man, Money B, man. Yo, Mun, if you watching this shit, I love you for this. It was so classic. So Mun, there's one scene in the video where he's like standing up on this little thing, like a little statue thing. He's standing in front of it. Mun is like standing up on it. He's like, yeah, so look. I don't remember how it came up, but he was like, yeah, so look, like, so y'all over there. He's talking to the camera. He's okay, you're going to be standing right here. You're going to be filming me. I'm going to be right here serving. And, what's going but the way he's like, yeah, I'm going to be right here serving. And I just was like, nigga, I love you. It was so cool. But anyways, because he had to be there because he's standing on this thing saying it. So we're looking up. It's like, money be, money be, money be. Because that's what it's like when you look at him anyways. That's a regal nigga right there. He just beams he exudes this godlike, or not godlike, this godly, godly. Because he's not like a god. He is the god, Money B. He godly or just emanates from that nigga. That's why people are blessed to be in his company. But anyways, yeah, so that was a fun time. Got me a fresh ass beanie that says Budapest on it. And I got a really controversial t-shirt out there that I'm afraid to wear most of the time because it's like, it says world tour. It's got all these like historical, like, ruthless like political leaders on it. But the design of the shirt was so crazy that just the artist in me was like, yo, that shirt is nuts. Like, it ain't have nothing like Hitler, no shit like that on it, but it was like, it had Stalin and some niggas like that on there. I was like, yeah, I don't know if I really want to wear that shit and be around some Russian grandmother. She's like, motherfucker, do you know who that nigga is on your shirt, you young motherfucker? Anyways.
But also as well, man, a year after that, sorry, my apologies. I was reading the same question that I already asked.
I know, I be taking motherfuckers on missions. I'm a mission man.
But you also currently have the Thick Shape mixtape out, man. I have to ask, what is the story behind this phenomenal mixtape? And of course, where can our listeners purchase a copy? Because I'm going to let you say how they can get it, because I already got mine, and I have to say it is slapping.
Thank you, King. Okay, so the mixtape, we're gonna keep we spilling all the beans today. Let me tell y'all about the mixtape. Who remembers when the pandemic was real scary? You didn't know how anything was ever gonna happen again. I remember it. And I was like, man, we didn't have no shows. Nigga, I was fucked up. This is pre-EDD time. I don't know what the Canadian situation was like, but, young Hump had to get on some government aid for a minute to hold it down and get my avocados because daddy has to have his avocados. Fun fact, that's all that's on my rider. I don't need no Hennessy, beer, cocaine, women, weed. Nah. I need avocados when I show up. Give me my avocados and I'm ready to perform. That's it. But anyways, I was going to say, so this is back when shit was kind of scary and shit. I was like, I got to figure out how to make some motherfucking money. I just made that mixtape strictly just to have something to motherfucking slang. I'm going to keep it a buck. You know what I mean? That's that, like I'm an honorary Oakland nigga now because I never made rap music like that. I just beauty art. That shit was like, I got to figure out something that I can sell to make money. But here's the thing though. I had the idea for a couple years, like I want to do a tape, Ratchet Love, yeah, Big Tone from the West. I see you, daddy. Shout outs to Forax and Tweed. I was gonna say Money B. I was gonna say, yeah. So basically, what it was it was just like I had to do something, but I had the idea, like I was saying before, of rapping over some old joints, just on some mixtape shit. But it was just like one of those things I knew would be hot. It wasn't even anywhere near a priority. And I hadn't even remotely, I had a couple instrumentals in a little like playlist, just sitting there. Like when I get around to it, I'll fuck with these. So then when that time came, I was like, shit, I got to figure something out. So I just made it real quick and Money B made the one beat, the Stay Away From Me If You're Contagious. I mean, Mun's on like 4 joints. I got Numb from the Loonies snapping. Everybody's snapping on that thing. And but yes, I literally made it like that and was just happy to it's crazy because I've been going through this constant back and forth of should I put it on Spotify, but a couple of those tracks, we ain't gonna say no names here, but some of those tracks are pretty kind of like big deals to be throwing out there. Like I'm just rapping over wah instrumental, you know what I mean? So I just wonder, but there's a part of me that's like, you got to sell so much for them to really come and fuck with you. But at the same time, it's like, but yeah, that one shit is pretty fucking, the last track on there is pretty like, rapping on that man's shit. But anyways, so I just kind of like, I'm debating eventually putting it on like, all the streaming platforms. But for now, you got to slide. You have to slide up in my DM. What's that Snoop Dogg song? slide in my DM. But yeah, you got to slide in my shit. And holler at me and you can get it from me direct. You know what I mean? What's better than getting it from the source, of course.
And I gotta say, the one song that I really enjoy, man, is one where you sampled Jackson 5 ABC and when quarantine's over. But hey, it's a mixtape though, man.
Allegedly,
It
allegedly, allegedly,
allegedly,
allegedly.
allegedly. But I
Yeah,
gotta say,
yeah,
it's a
yeah, yeah,
mixtape
yeah,
though. You know
yeah,
what I
yeah, yeah.
mean?
Yeah, I know. Allegedly, I've never sold that. I've never sold that. That's something that you're referring to allegedly that allegedly exists, and I allegedly believe you that it is an amazing song allegedly. And
In our defense here, I was not born when that Jackson 5 song came out, so I could be misunderstanding the beat for another beat.
I concur, good sir. I concur, good sir. Yeah, you know, I mean, yeah. So we was having fun, just snapping on shit that I thought was like different instrumentals I got my hands on. Like, imagine if I did this, and it's fun, man, because I like to, you know, I'm a comedian, man. I like to be, I like to make people laugh and take them in places and shit. Like, so yeah. So the mixtape is out there. I call it the Thick Shape mixtape just because somewhere in my mind, like I was gonna call it the Young Hump mixtape, and then I was like, nah, that ain't enough. I want to give it something that's a little more flavor. And somewhere in my mind, I was like, I think I had another rhyme title like for it, like the sit bait mixtape or something. And I think in a rhyme I wrote, I said something, and it like just the way it sounded, I was like, if I could make it the it bait mixtape would be dope. So I was like, what am I gonna do? And then when I finally came, I'm like Thick Shape mixtape. I was like, it kind of don't really, it ain't really like that deep like that. Like the mixtape is not about women's body shapes, and it's definitely about no motherfucking niggas' body shapes. But I just thought it was funny because the aesthetic of Young Hump is like he's on his, put some big boobs in my mouth and let me squeeze on you. You know what I mean? Like that's my shit. So I just kind of like said the Thick Shape mixtape just because I figured it would be like it would go with the it would go with it would go with the pro it goes with the program. It works with the narrative. You know what I mean? So I just called it that real quick just to be like, because I didn't want to just name it the Young Hump mixtape. I wanted to give it like some kind of thing. And I am on there. Like for me, one of my favorite, I mean, I love that shit to death. I ain't listened to it in a minute, but one of the things that I love on there is the certain song by a certain rapper that's known to have more who beyond the chicks extremely tough allegedly, and it's produced by a certain East Coast producer that is known to be that motherfucking king of the beats. The sample for the scratch in the original is, so come on, heads up, cause the dropping some tits. Come on, heads up, cause the dropping. So I freaking like, come on, tits out, cause we dropping. So come on, tits out. Like instead of heads up, I'm like tits out. Like that shit made me happy. I was like, yo, I did that. Like that shit really made me happy. Like I was like, yeah, I did that. Like I freaked that because it's all about freaking shit and making it, like the other one song you mentioned, Wink Wink, like the way I freaked the chorus to make it like what it is. It's all about making some shit something, because that's that hip hop shit. You take something and you make it something else.
But also as well, December of last year, man, you actually teamed up with JT Hiskey to actually release the single "Catch You Later." I was wondering, how did yourself and JT get connected, man? Because you guys' chemistry on that joint was absolutely phenomenal.
Yo, JT Hiskey is my motherfucking man. I'd like, bro, as soon as I seen him, he just got that thing about him, man. He just like, we never even met in person, man. He was out here and he hit me and I was like doing some other shit. And then next thing I knew he was gone. One of those, but it was also, during the pandemic, shit was just, it was hard to bust certain kind of moves. Like, anyways, that's my guy though. That's my guy. We FaceTime before and shit like that, but I never actually linked with him in real life. To be honest, what's really funny is all the females on the mixtape, the great, on my mixtape that I mentioned, the great Butter Go Harder, Black Sapphire, Freaky Ways, Bambi, they all homies off Instagram. My nigga Sancho Slick Pack, you know what I mean? obviously I know Money B, I know Numb, I know my man Monk Mandino. Those is like my bros. But yeah, so I've obviously but I've hung with them in real life. But yes, back to JT Hiskey. I'm sorry. I was just making the point that don't let anybody out there. I'm gonna give y'all a jewel right now. It's a real cool narrative. And look, no disrespect to people pushing this narrative, right? This little opinion, I should say, not narrative. Let me stop saying that. It's real cool and it sounds real romantic. And people talk about, they don't like to be doing songs with people if they ain't in the studio. I don't want to email songs back and forth. Like, hey, man, it'd be great if we could all push a button and appear in each other's studios when we want to. The reality is this. You're going to get a lot more motherfucking work done with some talented motherfuckers if you send the goddamn files. This is not 1995 anymore, and when everything was just people had to pull up. And it's always ideal. If you have the opportunity to pull up, then pull up. But a lot of people get this attitude that they don't want to work unless they're in the studio. And it's like, man, that ain't going to get it. You're going to get one song done every 5 months fucking around like that. You know what I mean? Where you can have all kinds of shit with people, you know what I mean, if you just are open to that. So JT Hiskey is in the situation with that. We just started building. It wasn't even let's do music off the rip. It was just like, I like this cat. He fuck with me. We just kind of just zoning in and just chopping it up. Just, like I was doing my little Instagram lives. He would pop up on me and I'd be like, I like this cat. And we just be building real quick and just talking about whatever we talking about. And we just, just became buddies like that. And then one day he hollered at me, he was like, hop on something. And the rest is history. That's my guy. JT Hiskey. Love you, bro. And I love to see people that expand. He's an expansive guy. He expands. You know what I mean? Like, he's not the JT Hiskey he was 3 years ago in a good way, though. I mean, he's not just some people. What did Earl Sweatshirt say? You that same motherfucker from since 2001. Like, that's not JT Hiskey. JT Hiskey is not the same motherfucker from July. He's expanding, you know what I mean? And like I appreciate artists like that and people like that, you know what I mean?
And I have to ask, is there any plans in the future to actually work with him again? Because like I said, your guys' chemistry was phenomenal.
Indeed, yeah, I fuck with him. He's the kind of guy I fuck around and get him on my shit. And I like his energy. And you know what I really love too? What's my little nigga's name? Oh man, there's an Asian dude. Because this is like over a year ago. I can't remember his name. He was lit. I can't remember his name, but he was like self-professed JT Hiskey's biggest fan. And it was like, imagine just meeting the dude and you just like, he's like, yo, Hump, you just shit. I'm like, yo, peace. All right, peace. He's like, yeah, yo, I just fucking. And then somewhere down the line, he bring up JT, and I'm like, yeah, it's my guy. He's like, yo, I'm the biggest JT Hiskey fan in the world, man. I love it. That's like my spirit animal. That's my whatever I can't remember, but he just was like JT Hiskey, like the nigga was Snoop Dogg and Frank Sinatra. I was like, I'm fuck with that because JT Hiskey has that kind of swag to him. Like he has that thing where it don't matter that he's not as famous as goddamn Taylor Swift or motherfucking Busta Rhymes or whoever. Like he's got that star power. You know what I mean? And some people, that's the thing about numbers, man. A lot of people, they get caught up in the numbers and they get so lost in numbers that they look at artists. A lot of people look at artists and they say, oh, he's under, 1 million followers. He's not on this level or that level. Fuck that, man. Some of the illest motherfuckers on the planet got like 2,500, 3,500 followers, 700 followers. And it's some of the corniest, bitch-made, generic, garbage mouth, flubber, slimy ass, punk ass, weak. You get the point. Motherfuckers have 15 trillion followers. So eat a dick if you think numbers makes the man. The man makes the numbers. And numbers, we respect numbers. We love numbers. We never disrespect numbers. We just saying it isn't about looking at a number on a motherfucker's profile determining, you know what I mean? Because the thing about numbers is They add up and they expand. I just want to share that with you because I don't have a whole lot. I'm just barely getting close. I'm at like 9,178. My shit be like 179, 9,181. I'm like, can I get that 10,000 so somebody can ask me if I want a blue check or some old shit? Can a nigga get a? Because I'm entertaining, man. These motherfuckers out here can't even speak. Anyways, I'm sorry. I'm just hyped. I feel like I got drunk. I swear to God, I ain't drinking. I just made myself drunk. I think I like shook up some old alcohol in me. Cletus Mac, what you drinking on?
But no, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I hear you on that. Like I've been doing this radio thing for about 4 years now, man. And I notice every year I gain 1,000 followers on Instagram, man. And it's like, I'm interviewing legends like you, and I just like you said, 3,001, 3,002, and it's like, but at the end of the day, the numbers don't make the person. It's a platform and what they bring to the table, man. So
facts, because your name is good out here. People speak highly about you in my DMs. I got the receipts. People speak highly about you. You know what I mean? So it's like it's motherfuckers out there with numbers that everybody knows that motherfuckers think are straight clowns because they are. So that's the shit, man. It's all relative, and we understand some people all they see is cold hard, cold hard. You know what I'm saying? Quantifiable, calculable. They just operate like that, and those people always miss the waves. They show up late and try to like report the wave. The motherfuckers that see something are the motherfuckers that ride the wave to perfection because they know how to surf and they know how to like see something and be a part of it when it's forming and as opposed to somebody that like doesn't believe anything. Like every day there's a legend who somebody that's getting fronted on by somebody. And then that person later, I mean, Q-Tip, this nigga Q-Tip was on, what's his name? Matt Hoffa's show talking about he was shopping Meg Thee Stallion and all these labels were turning her down. And he saw it. And then, eventually whatever, I guess, and maybe he didn't get into this, but I'm just suggesting maybe somebody thought because he's a New York dude, what does he know about a Southern rapper? And they once, she got around the Juicy J situation, maybe they just thought because Juicy J is Southern based that he knows better, but Q-Tip was on that before that. You know what I mean? And it's just crazy. Like that's just how people are. But people are gonna, only some of us have sight. Like you speak to me like you see the future, and I speak to you like I see the future. So that's why we rock. I fuck with you, Immortal.
hey man, I'll fuck with you as well, Hump. But going back to the follower thing, man, a lot of people always hit my DM and be like, "Yo, why don't you just buy your followers and you can get that swipe up feature on Instagram?" And I always go, "But why though? Why would I buy fake followers? They're not going to listen to my radio station. You know what I mean? I'd rather keep promoting and pushing myself. Those people are going to recognize me, then they're going to tune in. No offense, half of them are unactive Indian accounts. You know what I mean? So it's like they're not going to do nothing for you. You know what I mean? You're just buying a number. I'd rather earn that swipe up feature than I know people when I do put that swipe up feature, people are actually going to swipe up because they're following me for me, not because I paid."
That's real shit. And I know a dude who went and paid, and he went from like 2,300 to like 15,000. He was sitting there for a minute, and motherfuckers getting 20 comments on some shit, and then he ended up eventually. I think he took them down himself, or perhaps they were stripped. I don't know, but now his shit is back at 2,400. It's a bad look. Like if you know him, you remember when his shit was. That's a bad look. Like your shit's at 2,000, it goes to like 11,000, then it's back to 2,000. That's a bad look. You know what I mean? Because it's like, damn, like, what happened to you? Did you pull your dick out somewhere? Did you snitch on one of the homies? What did you do? Anyways, peace to that man.
But no, speaking of talking about stuff like this, man, back in April, you actually posted about one-on-one consultation sessions, man. I was wondering if you can actually tell us a bit more about that. And of course, how could our listeners actually get in touch with you to partake with these sessions with the one and only Young Hump of DU?
Woo! Well, to answer that, to partake with me, slide into my DMs, holler at me, whatever, because I don't really be doing much on Twitter. I just go on Twitter every now and then and retweet some porn just to be silly. You know what I mean? Like I might have to clean my page up, but I don't really be doing. I just, but I'll say this: Yeah, holla at me. But this is the thing. I'm gonna be honest. All those posts come from a place of financial ambition on my part, right? Yeah, Tone West, talk about it. See, look, this is the first live interview that the great Tone West peeps. See, we making moves, we stepping it up. But see, here's the thing. I'm a motherfucker who knows a lot of things. I'm blessed to have a lot of wisdom and a lot of taste and a lot of understanding. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like somebody charging for their services is them charging for their services. Like like you know how you'll see commercials for shit and they go out of their way and they try to like talk to you like they're just trying to do you this favor so you can be better. It's like, no, you're trying to get paid, because if you really cared about me, you would just tell me what vegetable to stop eating so I wouldn't have whatever the fuck, or you tell me, you see those commercials like, if you stop eating this one vegetable, this one fruit, your life will be so much better. But you got to watch this shit for 9 hours and then pay some money to find out what it is. It's like, you could just be a real nigga and just tell me what it is off the rip. But no, because you're trying to get paid, because you've put in that knowledge, the time to know whatever you know, and various other things, advertising things. With me, I got to get this money. But the thing about it is like, yo, I've taught a lot of people how to be like, look, I had to teach myself to be this. I wasn't always this. The first time I got on stage, motherfucker told me he was embarrassed to be on stage. I mean, he said, I wasn't comfortable to be on stage with you, man. Like, this wasn't Money B. This is way before any of that. But just like, I had to develop myself. There's ways, techniques, and methods that you can employ into your own spirit, soul, and artistry to make it easier for you to pull your superpowers and your natural strengths and make them front and center. There's ways, and I'm aware of these ways. And there's the same thing with being a writer. There's, a writer or a rapper that doesn't write their raps. There are ways, or a writer that doesn't write raps. Like creation, it's a lot of ways you can be. No one can teach you how to create because it's your creation. But somebody can show you ways that you can utilize that will help your creations, whether it's psychological mood shit that ultimately determines how you feel and what comes out, as well as techniques to, get things going for yourself, or as well as it is actual techniques like a motherfucker could teach you. I could teach you a rap style you never heard. Like Young Hump is gas on the mic, as ass yuck mouth. You know what I mean? Like, I get busy. I'm not just rapping some bullshit. I said, you heard the mixtape. What I said, bounce with a nigga if you got the. Hey yo, bounce with a nigga if you ready to breeze. Hey yo, bounce with a nigga if you got double D's. I'm at celebrities with ease. I'm ready to skis. Your nigga Money B's the reason we overseas. When I say it, it sounds so fresh because it's just styling. But I said, bounce with a nigga if you ready to breeze. Hey yo, bounce with a nigga if you got double D's. I max celebrities with ease. I'm ready to skis. My nigga Money B's the reason we overseas, because Money B booked the show. So all that shit, I just Money B's like, you can say it and make it back. Like there's things. I can break that down. We could go all in the chalkboard. I can break out. So anyways, consultations. Like, that's what I meant. Like, and I'm a fun nigga to fuck with. Like, I got a lot of my friends in different walks of life call me for my opinion on things because, I spent a lot of time developing my taste and aesthetic. We all develop our taste and aesthetic naturally, but I'm an individual who spent an excessive amount of bonus time. Like, I'm a Kobe Bryant nigga that's shooting 1,000 free throws. I'm 1,000 free throw shooter, motherfucker. Like, I put it in. I've, sat in a chair and freestyled for 7 hours straight. I'm the nigga that's written 5 songs and memorized 5 songs. This is back, 3 verses 24 bar. Some of them had 24 bar verses, and memorized them all and went into a studio just as a mental exercise and recorded all of them without having to look at the paper. I had a 6 song ready, but the engineer nigga got tired. That part. So there's techniques. I could teach a motherfucker ways to memorize their raps better than they know. There's little techniques. I know a lot of shit. You know what I mean? So same thing with fashion. You know what I mean? Like, you was here when we party people. When I first came on here, I wasn't quite as fresh as I am now. Now I'm not on my ultra fresh, but I'm fresh. I'm at the house, my nigga. I'm at the house. This is regular. But I threw on a shirt that was wrinkled. So I said, okay, if I'm gonna deal with the wrinkles, it's gonna be sleeveless, because the wrinkles fucked you up in the arms. They don't really fuck you up on a sleeveless. If you got a sleeveless shirt and there's a little wrinkle, you can pull it off. But when your arms are wrinkled, you can't pull that off. I don't give a fuck if you're Denzel or Ryan Gosling or whatever. It's going to fuck you up. So anyways, yeah, I know some shit. So that's what I mean. Anybody want to tap in with the kid, I got some shit for y'all. Just about whatever. I'm a feedback guy. I got, I'm a Virgo, like Shock G and Money B and Sophia. Cletus Mac. I was going to say, so I have Virgos, our nature is attention to detail. You see that I'm no stranger to articulation, and I have no problem elaborating. Or Cadillac Gaddafi's in the building with the Virgo gang. And so, yeah, I have no problem explaining things. Some people, you ask questions. Some people know a lot of things, but they don't really like to explain things. So when you ask them, or they're just not particularly able to expound on it. I'm gifted in that way. So if people ask me a question and I'm interested, or I'm getting paid too, because I enjoy the shit I'm talking about. Like, those are things that I enjoy. So if a person, like, if somebody came at me and played me the wackest rap song I'd ever heard in my life, but they was paying me to tell them what it could be better, I would enjoy that. Because I'd be like, okay, this is a person that obviously takes themselves, this is hypothetical if it was the wackest song ever, right? But still, this is a person that is humble to ask for some guidance from an expert. This is somebody that takes themselves seriously. And this is a person, willing to invest in their future. I would respect that. So I wouldn't be like, oh, that's just whack. I don't. No, I would be like, listen, okay, you gotta start off with the rhythm. You have to have a little rhythm in your flow. You have to try to put a period here and there. People would need to use it ain't working. You need the blah represents the think about what I just said. My nigga. That's why all those pauses are, so we can thought about it, got it. I break all that shit down. So whatever, anybody, that's free game for everybody out there. But anyways, yeah, I know I just gave selling my services. What can I say? We're trying to get it. You see that green? We're trying to get it. Shout out to 40 ounce Chris that made me this special shiny brand new nose. See, 40 ounce Chris is a special individual. He's from a collective called the Noses. Those are the brothers that come to the Digital Underground shows in full regalia with the noses. He makes these noses. He made many of the noses. If you Google Shock G Humpty Hump, half of the shit that's coming up, my nigga 40 ounce Chris made. He's a legend. He's an author. He's my brother. I love him forever. And shout out to Pork Chop and Mac Dread.
And I gotta say that is definitely a flashy looking nose, man. I know. I gotta ask, like, as of right now, since your career started as young Hump, and I know you probably don't count, but estimate how many different style noses do you actually have from like the start of your career from young Hump, like right up to this brand new flashy green one?
Probably about 8. Probably like maybe 9. Probably 9. Yeah, I think 9. But one of them, sadly, is no longer with us. Hey, the noses, man. These motherfuckers, you just, where my nose at? You know what I mean? Like, motherfuckers lose sweaters and shit of these little noses, But yeah, no, I got about 9. I made 2 of them, maybe 3 of them.
And I gotta say, young Hump's out here with options, man. Different noses, different colors, different styles. You know what I mean? You never know what nose is gonna come out next.
You feel me? Yeah, it's like, the funny thing is that there's certain women that really like get into the nose, like they really get into it. It's actually a genius design because it's like you can see the face, but it's like it just does something different. It's like, you know, it's different. It's fun. I'll tell y'all a secret. You want to know something? This is something nobody knows. Nobody knows when the nose goes, when the doors close. But all right. Um, when you're on stage rapping, you see this part right here?
Yeah.
Okay. That part, I lovingly, but also hatingly, but lovingly, jokingly, but annoyingly refer to it as the sweat bucket. The sweat will drip under there, and you be on stage like, yeah. So, anyways, you got like a little puddle of sweat just sitting under your nose, and no one knows that shit. You on stage like, yeah, you feel me? And like, imagine like just for the sake of argument, imagine if you had like a little bit of water, you just held it under your nose, and you had to like function for 30 minutes with that. You move it around, and you just, I mean, usually it doesn't come in, you know, in 1 minute. If we do a 30-minute show, it's not really going to be there, depending on how hard I go, like to maybe 20 minutes in, I don't know, whatever. But there have been, we do those hour shows, woo! That's why every now and then, if we do those kind of shows, if there's like a place I can go hide, I go like hide and like, you know, fix it real quick. But that shit could be a motherfucker, man. Having just a pep. I mean, you're sitting there on stage, especially when you're talking and you're rapping, and you're like da 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 da. You just feel like the water, like. No, no, it ain't all fun and games with this thing on. You hear me? It ain't all fun and games.
Take one wrong breath, it goes right up that nostril. Start choking on it, man.
Crazy.
But no, I gotta ask, man, what is next for yourself, young Hump, man? Because I do know you got a lot of amazing stuff in the bucket, ready to let it fall out, man. Like, what else is next for yourself and Money B, man? Is there anything else you still want to talk about or promote?
Well, we got this album coming, and the album slaps, bro. Oh, pardon me. The album slaps. Oh my God, there's some things on that shit that are just. I just, man, I'm so proud of the album because it's like this. If you like us, the album, you're gonna love the album. Now I can't say every human being on the earth. I mean, some people all they want to hear is depressed emo shit, and that's what they love. So that's not us. We don't do depressed emo shit. You know what I mean? But we got some conscious records on there, don't get me wrong, but it's like our vibration is, you know, it's DU shit. It's that fun, you know, here, we in the thing. So, anyways, that shit is amazing. We're not. Oh, actually, I'm bugging. We do have the title, but we haven't announced the title yet. So I don't think now is the place to announce the album title because it's in this treacherous world of thievery and idea jackers. You know what I mean? Some of the biggest artists in the world, I'm not saying no names, but take the homies' album titles, and I'm gonna leave it at that. But so we ain't gonna throw the title out till it's like we got some artwork and we gonna present it in a tangible way. We can see, look, this us. But first. So the Money B Young Hump album is hopefully coming before the end of this year, if not first quarter, top of next year. The Young Hump solo album is the same thing. I don't know what's gonna come first. It's like we shall see because I'm working on it, but the Young Hump album and Money B's on a few on there too, of course. And also Money B has a record coming too, an album, excuse me, coming soon too. So we both got albums. So we don't. It's like we don't know, you know, who's gonna come first, you know. But the my solo joint, his solo shit, and our group record together, all three of those things will be out by spring. I'm pretty certain, you know. So anyways, if not all before Christmas for your stockings. But anyways, yeah, so there's that. But yo, so I'll tell you this, the difference between my album and the Money Be Young Hump album is strictly that my sound, I'm heavier. I'm crazy with the samples. Like I'm like just heavier into like the samples and shit. So it's a little more like that kind of sound. Whereas the Money B Young Hump shit is more, a little more to slap, a little more to, you know, the mechanics of production and that kind of like just slap. So which I love because it creates, you know, some people prefer, you know, the modern slap shit that you would hear like most of the Bay artists rap on. You'd hear YG or somebody rap on, and then other artists want to hear like some shit that sound like, you know, some with some old school hip hop shit. There's like some samples and some breaks and shit like that. So my solo record leans more towards that, and which will diversify our portfolio extensively. But there's a couple songs. There's one song in there I got on there that I'm rapping over an old record that people don't know, but they know the artist. When they hear that record, motherfuckers is gonna love me. I got this Rain song. That's why I'm gonna drop my shit if I don't have my shit by January out, I'm gonna put it out by January because I got this Rain song and I wanted to drop it last rain season and I missed it. And I want to have that shit ready because I got the Rain song of fucking doom for you motherfuckers. Like I put a twist on the rain like no one ever did, Young Hump style. Like it ain't like, oh, it's raining and I wish you would come back to me and kiss me again. No. This is like, you know, it's something different.
But I gotta say, man, it definitely sounds like both of those projects are gonna be absolutely phenomenal, man. I'm definitely excited just hearing about it. You know what I mean? I'm looking forward to it dropping, man.
Yeah, we snapping. No, we giving it our all. We've taken our time with it, and we masters at this shit. You know what I mean? And I say that, you know, I don't even say that with humility. I have humility in my heart, but I'm gonna say that the same way KRS said what he said and meant it yesterday, and the same way Big Daddy Kane said what he said and meant it yesterday. Like, damn it, we mean this shit. Like, we fucking are those motherfuckers. Money B is money. We got this song in there called "Girl." And man, I will never forget. We in the studio with my man Mark Mandino and my man Dash out in Reno, who produced it. What up, Gutter Dash? And we out there and we finishing our raps and shit. I think I might have finished mine first, I think. And Mun finished it a little bit shortly thereafter. And this nigga Money B, it was so classic. He goes like this. He finishes his rap and he's like this. He's like, you know what? It might not even been with paper, but for the Shakespearean element, let's pretend it was paper. He was just like, he looked at it. I'm just looking at him. And he goes, like, you know, when you're looking at somebody, they don't know you're looking at him. He just goes like, huh, and looks at me and goes, are you ready for some classic Money B shit right now? He snapped on that shit so hard, yo. He fucking snapped on that shit so hard. I told him that joint. I said, you know, Be Cool is top 10. Girl, top 3. I put that up there with motherfucking with Freaks in the Industry and well, let me not get my official list right. Let me take a time, but you get my point. Like he snapped on that shit. Crazy. Like the voice, you know, because Mun's got the, you know, like whatever's above platinum, that's what his voice is. It's platinum voice, and then there's like the next level up. His shit is.
See, I always tell people when it comes to Money B, man, like even if you don't know Digital Underground, you don't know Money B, and you only heard like maybe a few songs here and there, you straight up know it's Money B when you hear Money B. He has that one of a kind like voice that can never be recreated, if that makes sense.
Yeah, he got a voice like Raekwon. Like they got those voices that are just so like there's just like I say Raekwon, he's the perfect example because I just saw an interview with RZA, and RZA said he's like, you know, Raekwon got that voice that when he gets on a song, he like makes it a record. Like it sounds, his voice on a track just makes it sound official. it's like that's Money B's voice. When he gets on some shit, his voice just makes it sound like it elevates the song immediately, just like that. You know what I mean?
But also, Hump, before we part ways this evening, man, if you can, drop them social media handles, man. That way our listeners can follow you and stay updated on everything Young Hump and Money B and Digital Underground if they're not already doing so.
Yes, sir. Young Hump is spelled correctly because I was educated and I can spell correctly. So it's YOUNGHUMP, Young Hump, and it's DU for Digital Underground. People be like, Young Hump do? I'm like, it's DU for Digital Underground because there's a gentleman out there named Mr. Humphrey somewhere. I think his first name is Zach, and he has the Young Hump Instagram. I attempted to negotiate with him. Like, let me get that, fam. And he was not really, So, but peace to him. I understand it. That's just how he. So I'm Young Hump DU. So simple. Just think DU for Digital Underground. Young Hump DU. And Money B. Oh, you know what? That's the hungry yawn. I yawn. He'll be like, you
Them
tired?
avocados, man, they're calling your name. They're in the fridge being like, eat me.
Bruh, I'm about to go down on an avocado right now. But yeah, Money B is Money B 69, MONEY B 69. And as for Digital Underground, just hashtag Digital Underground and see what pops up. And I would recommend for those people that want to tap in, I would say this: if you go to Money B's Instagram, Money B is really the source, center, key focal point of all things Digital Underground. There's on Instagram and shit like that, you got fan pages, you got this, you got that, you got whatever, and all that shit could be confusing. So whatever Money B is putting a link to, that's where you want to be. So you can kind of find it through Money B. If you just want to see shit, hashtag Digital Underground, you're gonna see shit. But you go to Money B's page, that's really the source. That's the same thing with me. But I mean, I've only been down for 6 years. I've only been official in the group. I've been down since, but Money B is where it's at for all that. You know what I mean? Holla at Mun if you really want to and the same thing with, for like all the official things regarding, regarding, shows and all that shit. Just Money B 69 is you can find what you're looking for or find a express route to there. Money B on call it what you want. Absolutely. He did that. You know what I mean? And that song is the first time anybody ever said the word G-Funk on record. Was said by Tupac. A lot of people don't know that. But But anyways, what was your other part of your question?
Oh, I was aside just saying drop them social media handles, how people can find you and whatnot. But I know we just took care of that business, man. But I gotta say,
Yeah.
Hump, before we part ways, man, I just want to give you your flowers while I have you here, man. And just say to you, man, thank you for just not only carrying on, Humpty Hump, now Young Hump, legacy and whatnot, but also just, Digital Underground, man. I told you before we went live and when we were talking and conversing through IG that me personally, man, I grew up on Digital Underground. If it wasn't for Digital Underground's music, I truthfully don't think there would be a DJ Immortal, man. Your guys' music inspired me and helped me get through a lot of difficult times in my life. So just speaking to you and the rest of the Digital Underground members, man, thank you for making monumental music that not only I could enjoy and help me get through, but also speaking for the millions of fans worldwide, continent, province, state to state. Thank you, man. Nothing but love.
Oh man, appreciate it. And another thing, I'll just add this too. There are discussions. There's gonna be more Shock G coming, and there's gonna be more Shock G. Shock G inspired posse work. You feel me? So I want everybody to know that we're gonna keep repping that nigga till the motherfucking sun busts. and that's a long time. So we're gonna be doing that, and we're gonna rep for our brother the right way always, and keep it cracking, man. Because DU is a special thing. It's a special energy, and you know the like people say we need a new DU now. I'm like, nigga, we here. Like DU is always reinventing itself because that's part of what it is. And yeah, man. So we appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you for checking I know you got Clee, you got me. You know what I mean? A little birdie. What's that? Okay, yeah, a little birdie over there is telling me probably gonna link you with the one and only Money B soon, so you can complete that. You know what I mean, and then maybe get DJ Fuse and some other individuals out the team, and to keep it rocking. So you could be like, be that guy that like Vlad TV, he always brag about being, shout outs to Vlad. He brag about being the dude who interviewed the most people related to Tupac, like I mean related, like family. I mean, just to have any association to Tupac, like police investigators, like anything of that. Like he's interviewing niggas that was at the mall when niggas got beat up around the corner or some shit that had something to do with the murder in Compton a week later. Like he interviewed everybody. It's like you fuck around and be the guy to interview the most DU members out here. You know what I mean? You already got me and Clee. You off to a gangstified star, brother. So yo, salute DJ Mortal, Outlaw Radio. You mean, and shout out to great country of Canada and this great world we in. All my indigenous brothers and sisters out there and out here. You know what I mean? All people of all colors is all one family. We all, mixed and feeling it. So much love, my brother. I had a good time with you today, man.
Oh man, and I gotta say, I definitely had a good time as well, man. Thank you so much for just giving us an hour and 40 minutes of your time, and hopefully down the line, man, we can make this happen again sometime soon. But for now, man,
absolutely. When the album and all that shit's ready, I'll pop it back on you, and you know what I mean. I'm sure by then you'll even have a larger platform. We'll be larger. Both of us will be just out here, just fresher and better. You know what I mean?
Hey, man, sounds like a plan to me, man. Definitely have yourself a wonderful night, Hump, and we definitely shall talk soon, brother.
Definitely appreciate you, man. Tap in with me on my DM, and everybody else out there, if you're interested in that mixtape, I'm trying to, tell them, Immortal.
Hey, either you get it or you most definitely will regret it, man. I'm telling you, phenomenal mixtape, but you gotta hit the man up himself. Don't be scared. He don't bite. The nose don't bite. So slide up in there, speak to Young Hump, get yourself the mixtape because it is absolute fire. But warning though, I do want to put a disclaimer on this because if it does melt your speakers or your headphones, Young Hump and the rest of Digital Underground is not liable to replace not only your stereo, but also the eardrums that get melted in the process. So listen with caution, but also remember it does slap you upside the face in a positive way, and it's absolute fire.
My brother. Talk soon and send me that dope ass record you was talking about in my DM, and we're gonna keep it funky because a conversation like the party don't stop.
Hey, most definitely, man. I'll hit you up right now, man. Have yourself a wonderful night.
You too, King. Yep.